Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
Because it is Halloween today.
Alright, I'm taking off the pitch today, so welcome to the newest episode of Seven More Robots' favorite program. Yeah, I'm gonna call it that.
Yeah.
It's comics, etc.
Do you have anything new you'd like to add?
We made flyers!
Oh yeah, we got flyers.
Yeah, they're kind of cool, right? We made them. We're handing them out. If you would like to get your very own flyer to, have and to hold till death do you part.
That's what you do with flyers.
Yeah. If you'd like to get one for your very own, you can stop by Big Steve's Comic Kitchen in Oceanside, or we'll probably have them out in Villainous Lair Gaming and Comics down in San Diego pretty soon as well. So, and we're hoping to do some kind of cool stuff with these flyers in the future, some sort of like contest type stuff. So we'll keep you posted on that. But either way, they're just kind of cool. We're really happy we have them, and you're looking good today.
Is that a new frame? Is that a new lens? I like it. I mean, I like your old lens too.
You'll always be perfect, but
yeah,
rocking
if you
this.
feel better with it, that's.
Let's get reviewing. Reviews. Tell your friends. Tell everyone you know that you should read Vertigo Quarterly Yellow. It's great. So, Vertigo is doing this thing where it releases comics quarterly. It's kind of obvious. They've already done two, Cyan and Magenta. Some of the stories are a little trippy, and a lot of them are very, very non-linear. So stuff happens, and you're like, well, there's like no exposition. What's happening here? And then it'll just end. But that's the beauty in them. They're just these quick, short stories. I enjoyed every single one, and some of them were genuinely creepy. I'm sure, they released Yellow around this time again for Halloween, stuff like that. But to be honest, a lot of them, Magenta, were fairly creepy. There's one where this woman gets sucked into the walls after maybe doing drugs. They're just really quick little stories, maybe a couple pages each. Some phenomenal writers are on there. Gerard Way actually does one of them. I really enjoyed it. It's very, his style of comics. I just thought it was a really, really good read. If you have the chance, you should absolutely pick up Yellow, pick up Cyan, pick up Magenta, and then I believe the last one is Black. Either way, I thought it was great. 10 out of 10. It's really hard to find a flaw with something like this because each story is so unique. Overall, great product. 10 out of 10, y'all.
Alright, so, for my first comic I'm reviewing, I'm going to be doing the thing where I pick up a comic that I don't pick up. In this case, I want to go with something a little more thematic, especially tying into what Red King's doing over on Alien Isolation. I decided to pick up Fire and Stone, Aliens. This is issue 2, and I'm a little lost on who the characters are, but I'm pretty sure it ties in with Prometheus, because they do talk about the Prometheans in this one. The aliens do a fair amount of killing in this one, so that's always a good thing. This one is surviving against a group of aliens, and that's something that you haven't really seen. It's very rudimentary boiling down of the argument when you're in survival mode. Do you stay and fortify, or do you, run and try and get away? But at the end, you're like, I wonder what I would choose. And then you figure out which one you'd choose, because they kind of boil it down real quick. However, the emphasis wasn't on that. It was more on the crew itself. This picture on the front, very misleading. This has nothing to do with what goes on in this issue. Anyway, this issue is going to get a 7? Yeah, 7. 7 out of 10. It looks like it has promise, and it's halfway done with the series already, so it's not going to be a really long one. But it did what Alien is supposed to do. You don't really see too much survival against a group when they are grossly outnumbered and outmatched. And they just have to try and live on this planet. So yeah.
Alright. It's a sad time for 35 issues. Brian Azzarello, Cliff Chiang, brought us what will forever be, for me, the definitive version of Wonder Woman. I've read some other Wonder Woman tales I really liked. Wonder Woman The Circle by Gail Simone. Really great read. I picked a couple Wonder Woman issues here or there, but this is the first time I picked Wonder Woman up from beginning to end and loved absolutely every issue of it. Cliff Chiang's style is so dynamic. Brian Azzarello's writing is so poignant and so creative. Like, they've done so much of this line that even if it was controversial, was still exquisitely executed. And this is their last issue, and they go out on a very satisfying note. You find out secrets about Zola and Zeke.
And now, to release this earthly coil or something of like that sort. Just read the comic, it'll make sense, I promise. Just read the comic.
And I thought that was actually really fantastic. I was not expecting either of those. And then there's also, I think it tied in so well to their whole arc. It basically summed up everything they were trying to do. We see the ramifications for Diana sparing the Minotaur earlier on. We see the fruition of her battle with the Firstborn. We finally find out what the whereabouts of Zeus were. Like, it was a very fantastic ending that did not feel like it was forced. I was going to say it didn't feel like a Deus Ex Machina, but it kind of was. But that's because they deal with gods. You can't not expect that. But like, it was amazingly done. I've loved their run so much. It's literally been one of the best comic runs series I've read ever in my life. I can't recommend this series highly enough to you. Now that it's over, I absolutely say pick up this last issue just so you can have it. Pick up all the trades, make your friends read it if they're Wonder Woman fans in the least bit, or if they're just fans of good writing, if they're fans of Greek mythology, if they're fans of self-contained stories that you don't have to worry too much about reading everything else for. Wonder Woman delivered in so many ways, and I really think it's worth everyone's time. I mean, I'm going to give it an easy 10 out of 10. It was a great issue, a great ending to a phenomenal run, and overall, I really hope Azzarello and Chang are going to be on something else soon, because I'm going to miss them picking them up every week.
And finally, I am also doing a series that is ending, where Wonder Woman is not actually ending, but good Wonder Woman is, at least that we know of. I have the same feelings, I'm just balling it up. This one is a series that was mediocre all the way through, has a decently entertaining finale. It's a series that, even though I talk so much crap about it, I'm kind of sad that it's done. That series, Thunderbolts, issue 32, the last Thunderbolts. However, we're probably going to see another version of the Thunderbolts in the next couple of years. We'll get another one. There's always new ones. This one concludes the Punisher versus Thunderbolts arc, which is the last arc. I think this was a good finish to the series, actually. It's still not a strong series. I wouldn't put it up against Wonder Woman at all. Wonder Woman, infinitely better in my opinion. But this is a series that I thoroughly enjoyed. It never took itself too seriously, and still doesn't. And the characters in it they sum it up at the end very, very well. You have the Punisher, Red Hulk, Ghost Rider, who is this, Deadpool? I like Deadpool, but I always forget he's on the team. And Elektra. And they all have one thing in common. They don't work with people. And so, they talk about that a lot in this one. If you like the series, I recommend reading it. If you aren't a fan of any of the characters, or you're not into anti-heroes as much, definitely a pass. You can pass this series. I give this issue a 8 out of 10. And I give the series itself a 7 out of 10. I'm going to be sad that it's not, my comic to pick up. I'm going to miss it. Bye, Thunderbolts. Now that that's done with, I think it's time to talk about the greatest comic ever made. And
the comic god's gift to humanity.
And that is Future's End. What issue are we on? 26? More like 20. This issue sucks.
We're on issue 26.
Yeah.
It's been 26 issues.
You know what I realized? I was driving to work the other day, and I realized that Future's End is about a singular event. And it is an ongoing series. And one event that had nothing, that was tied into a single event, but could have expanded into a wider comic series. You know what that one was? Edge of Spider-Verse. We've talked about it many times. this is an ongoing series, and it is making me super sad. Oh, do we want to go over any specifics about this issue?
First, I wanted to say, as a critique of the series as a whole, as Mr. Hueth mentioned, Edge of Spider-Verse, lovely job, one-shots, gave us exactly what we needed to see of the universe, making us want more. It was a weekly series, and then I think it just ended, because the actual Spider-Verse is happening, whatever. Batman Eternal, actually pushing along the elements of Gotham. We're seeing a lot of the setup for what was teased in issue 28 of Batman. The new one, World's End, Earth 2, World's End, finally giving us the scoop on what's happened with Earth 2, why we have all of the refugees in Future's End. And then there's Future's End. In this issue, Ronnie and Jason, I finally learned his name.
Hey, good job. Who?
Well, first, Dr. Yeah, I'm a bad guy, kicked Jason out of his lab. And then...
God, it's just so, like, gold, silver age.
Because we no longer care about spoilers, because it's just not even worth it at this point, he also kidnaps Ronnie/Cal's girlfriend. Because why not?
That's one thing that I like, watching it happen, like, oh my god, this is so stupid. I kind of want to know what happens.
Right.
But, like, the delivery just kind of made me really sad.
And, like, you know what's going to happen. Especially with the vibe this comic has had so far. He's going to transport her. Something's going to go wrong. She's going to have superpowers.
Boom.
That's my prediction right now. Oh, it's a backstory for 52. And by backstory, I mean a file that was poorly written.
I'm really hoping in the next couple of issues they kill her. I'm saying that right now. I want her dead. I do not like her as a character. I don't like her as some broken Deus Ex Machina of a character that goes around, I can do whatever I want! Boo-ba-doo-ba-doo! One good thing that happened in this, I think we should talk... Buttman. Buttman's in it. The only good thing about him showing up is his dope armor.
Yeah, that armor's pretty sweet. Like, no, that's true. That's right. That's
a cool suit. I'm all like, yeah, okay, yeah. Batman 5 years. Mm-hmm.
Like, Batman showed up just to show off his fashion suit. He was like, guys, be mature and check out my new goods.
You need to be Firestorm. Do you like my new gear? So,
what else happened? What else?
This was a very uneventful issue. Nothing happened. Nothing got... Oh, more Terry McGinnis.
Oh, I forgot that was...
Yeah, and that's the worst part. I almost forgot about that. There was more Terry, and that part kind of explained a little bit, but not really.
Okay. So finally, apparently, they're giving us a reason for why we care about what's happening with Cal Tim. And it's apparently because he's integral to Batman's, or Terry's entire plan. Wow, 26 issues in, and we discover that Cal, who is living this garbage life as a bartender, losing women and beating up jocks, is integral to the future of our universe.
It's been a fun ride. So much in this issue that didn't matter or didn't entertain. And it's so bad because they've been on kind of an upstreak lately. I mean, like, the issue before this kind of started the downhill trend, but, like, before that, it was pretty high up from, like, maybe, like, issue 20, like, early 20s to maybe 24. Like, that was good issues. That was good reading. If you had to give this a numerical value, what would it be? I'm going to give him time by saying I would give this a 4 out of 10. Because this series needs to stop sucking so bad. For being out and being so relevant and so important to all these things, it needs to not suck like this. This was a crappy issue. It needs to do better. And if it can't do better, it needs to stop. Alright? I know it sounds mean, but if you can't put out good work, don't put out work. Just say, hey, you know what? Let's take some time off of Future's End and maybe, make it good.
4 out of 10, whatever, we're done.
If you like the video, please like us. Please show us to a friend. We're trying to get our names out there. We are totally still looking for your input because we would like to give you the product that you deserve. And we can't give you that if you don't tell us what you need.
Yeah. We literally, like, I know we look like guys with a lot going on, but we really do live for your guys' comments. Recently, our buddy from across the pond, Empath Digital, responded to our last weekly questions. He had a hard time discerning James Spader from Ultron. Like, he hears James Spader and he's just like, it's James Spader. It's not James Spader as Ultron, it's just James Spader. But he thinks he had a really nice voice, so he thinks it'll work. And I really appreciated his input, he's a good buddy. And it was like, a little pick-me-up during the day. Like, Empath Digital, you're so great. You should watch his channel. But, like, it was cool. So, like, when you do that, we feel good. And then we say that you did that on this channel. And then people who watch it will see it. And then you will feel good. And then they will feel good because they know there's a community here. And the universe.
It's a positive feedback loop.
Yeah.
If you feed goodness into it, goodness feeds back out onto you.
So, what Mr. Hughes was saying, we are here. We are here. We are here. We are here. Send us messages.
Well, as always, remember who you are, what you are.
Don't be causing any trouble out there. Especially not on Halloween. It's a dangerous time.
I was going to say, and happy Halloween.
Oh.
So my thunder.
I'm so sorry.
My thunder.
But you should enjoy Halloween, as Mr. Hewitt said.
Thunder. Friday.
Anyways.
That's what Tim Burton saw when he was producing that film.